Hello students. So after our last class, we have discussed in this chapter what is nutrition, what are different types of nutrition, then human nutrition and different steps in human nutrition in detail. So in today's class, we will learn nutrition in amoeba and nutrition in ruminants. Okay. And these two topics will be the last in this chapter. Then we'll move to the question answer section. So today we'll first start with nutrition in amoeba. Okay. So basic concept you all know what is amoeba. Amoeba is an unicellular organism. That is, amoeba have only one cell. It uses this one cell for all the function of its body. Okay, for movement also this have one cell, for excretion, for digestion, for every process it has only one cell. So amoeba has only one cell. So it is a single cell organism. And as it is having only one cell, so we know we cannot see cell with our eyes. We need a microscope to see cells. So to see amoeba we need a microscope. After that, single cell organism found in, so it is a single cell. I told you the amoeba is having only one cell, so it is called as single cell organism. So where you find this, or where this amoeba live? They live in ponds, then pools and ditches. These are the different places where we will find amoeba. It constantly changes its shape by pushing out one or more finger-like projection called pseudopodia or false feet that are meant for locomotion and capturing of food. So remember this one term, pseudopodia. Okay, yes, they are having only one cell. You may have seen such type of diagram of amoeba. Okay, but the shape of amoeba is not fixed because they are having only one cell. So according to the condition or according to the need, they just change their shape time to time. So they are saying that it constantly changes its shape. Okay, it constantly changes shape. The shape is not fixed. So how it change? By pushing out one or more finger like projection. Okay, how it changes shape? By pushing out one or more finger like shapes from the body, and these finger like shapes are known as pseudopodia. Okay, or false feet. Pseudo means false. Remember this pseudo term, pseudo means false. So the term is pseudopodia. What it is meant for? It is meant for the changing of shape of amoeba. For example, if this is your amoeba, then it will, for example, it will develop to finger like this. Then with these fingers it can move or it can eat. So what are different functions? Why this need this pseudopodia? For locomotion, that is for movement from one place to another. And the next point is for capturing food. All the process of nutrition after performed by a single cell. Okay, all this process of nutrition are performed by single cell of amoeba. So in amoeba, everything of nutrition, not only nutrition, every body process is performed by the only cell they are having. So in amoeba, so far we have learned that these are having only one cell. So these are single cell microorganisms and they are microscopic. We need a microscope to see them. And how they move? They move with the help of pseudopodia. Pseudopodia is nothing real, it is known as false food. And they use this pseudopodia for movement, that is locomotion, for moving one place to another and for capturing food, eating food. Okay, and their shape is also not constant. Their shape changes from time to time according to their needs. Now in every process of, for example, in human nutrition, we know there are basically 5 steps. The first is ingestion, then digestion, then absorption, assimilation and digestion. Similarly in this also there are 5 steps. We learn each in detail. So what is ingestion? The process of engulfing food is known as ingestion, the process in which we take food. Then digestion is the process in which food is digested. Then absorption, what is absorption? It is the process in which the energy from the food is absorbed. Assimilation is distribution of the absorbed food to different part of body. Then digestion means the removal of unwanted food or undigested food from the body is known as digestion. So in a case of amoeba, we'll learn each in detail. So ingestion says that amoeba eats tiny microscopic plants and animals as food that float on water in which they live. So you have learned that they live mostly on ponds, then ditches, okay, then lakes, pools. So they all mostly live on places where water is there. So what they eat the small microscopic plants or animals. There are small plants or animals which you cannot see, which you cannot even see with your eyes. So these plants and animals are being eaten by these amoeba. When the amoeba finds a suitable organism, it pushes out pseudopodia around the organism. So in the last slide, we have learned that how they capture food with the help of pseudopodia. They push out two pseudopodia from the body. So you can see in this ingestion diagram. See, this is the normal body should be like this, okay. But what they are, see, this is the normal body, for example. What they are doing for capturing this food, what they are doing, they are pushing out two pseudopodia. These are small, these are finger like, right? These structures are finger like, so these are known as finger like projection, that is pseudopodia. From the body they will push out to pseudopodia. Gradually the tips of the pseudopodia fuse with each other. So what will happen after some time, they are capturing the food, right? Food is entering, and after some time this pseudopodia will go this place, and this will come here, and ultimately they will connect together and the food will enter the amoeba. So this is the process in which they engulf the food. As a result, food is engulfed along with the little surrounding water to form a food vehicle inside it. So what will happen, see, after the food will enter, this will get connected to this place, okay. There will be connection, and this layer will be separated here as, for example, this dot is food, okay, this dot is food. Then in the next step what will happen, this dot will come here and this will get connected, right? This line will be connected, and this inner line will form a circle around this, like this. So this will form a vacuole. This circle which is covering the food, cover engulfed food, is known as food vacuole. So the food is covered by the vacuole, okay. So now eating is covered, eating is finished. The next step is digestion. They will now digest the food. The enzyme from the surrounding cytoplasm enter the food vacuole, break down the food into simple soluble substances. So what will happen, in the cytoplasm, inside cell, this cytoplasm, inside cytoplasm there will be number of enzymes which help in the digestion. In humans also we learned there are different enzymes for, such as pepsin, then salivary amylase. There are different enzymes which help in the digestion process. Similarly in amoeba also, inside their cytoplasm there are different enzymes which help in the digestion process, okay. So this enzyme will enter this vacuole, okay, food vacuole, and inside food vacuole they will digest the food into simple forms which are soluble, okay, in nature. The next, after digestion, what will do, the next is absorption. The energy should be absorbed. The digested food present in the food vacuole is absorbed directly by into the cytoplasm. So the, you see, inside the vacuole the food is digested in this step. Now in this step the energy is moving out, okay. There is a cell is taking out all the energy. Diffused food diffuse out of vacuole, okay. That is, the after digestion the food will come out of the vacuole. There is a energy, that is digestion food means energy. Energy will come out of the body, food vacuole, and ultimately the cytoplasm will absorb the energy or the food needed required for directly. Absorption is done. Now it is distribution. For example, this part needs some energy, so how this will come to this plus. The digested food absorbed by the cytoplasm is stored or utilized in for its growth, development, multiplication, and release of energy. So how they will use this, the food which they have eaten, they will digest it, then their energy is distributed where they will use it. They will use the energy for its growth, the body growth, then development, for development to release energy, multiplication to use energy, and release of energy. These are the different purpose for which they will use the energy they have derived from the food. Then is egestion. There is the undigested part. They will remove whatever food they are eating, small plant or animal. They are not digesting the entire plant or animal. what they'll do, they'll digest the required part and the undigested part will be removed out from the body. So how they'll remove? The undigested food gets collected inside the vacuole. So the undigested food will be collected inside in one place. The cell membrane ruptures in any place and the undigested food is thrown outside the body by the vacuole. So the undigested food will accumulate in one place. Then the wall, there is a cell membrane will rupture, there is a cell membrane break, and all the waste material will be thrown out of the cell. This is the basic process of nutrition in amoeba. This is very simple. First they are taking food with the help of pseudopodia, then digesting with the help of enzymes from the cytoplasm, then the energy is released. There is a absorption is the energy, or the food will move from this food vacuole to the cytoplasm. Then assimilation is the utilization in different purposes such as development, growth, and release of energy. Then egestion is the process where the undigested food is removed. So they will remove all the undigested material accumulate in one place, and then from that one place the cell membrane will rupture, and through this pore all will move out. Okay. So after amoeba, next we'll learn nutrition in ruminants. So we'll learn what are ruminants and how they take nutrition. Certain grass-eating animals, okay, such as cows, buffalo, deer, sheep, quickly chew the food mixed with saliva and swallow. Do you know why? So do you know this, why this is happening? That means they're telling that, for example, a cow, they eat too fast. Okay, they are just chewing the grass constantly and they are eating. They are not taking too much time like us. Okay, they are just doing the process too fast. They are eating too fast. So why they do this? The first thing there is, carnivores eat the grass-eating animals as their food. To avoid being caught by the carnivores, grass-eating animals quickly eat their food. Then they move a transverse place back into the mouth, chew it. Okay, and bring the food back into the mouth and chew it. So, for example, if don't consider your nearby example, consider an example of a forest. In a forest, a deer is eating some grass. Okay, if the deer will not eat too fast, what will happen? Some lion will come and the lion will catch the deer, right, and it will kill it. So what, for this reason, deer is, what it is doing, deer will eat too fast. Okay, deer will eat fast. Okay, and then he will go to some safe place so that the lion cannot hunt on the deer, right? Similarly, all herbivores, what they do, they just finish their eating process too fast and they store the food in their stomach. Whenever they will go to any safe place, what they will do, they will move back the food from stomach to the mouth and they will again start the process of digestion. Okay, that is, their process is not short, is in two part. First they will just eat the food, they will mix with saliva and they will engulf it. Then again, when they are in safe place or they are in rest, they will bring this food again to their mouth and they will chew it again. Okay, this eating process is divided into two parts. So this process of eating food in two steps is known as rumination. Okay, and the animals which eat in this type process are known as ruminants. So our cow, goat, buffalo, sheep, deer, these all come under this group, ruminants. Okay, in ruminants the stomach is divided into, so ruminant digestion system is a bit complex one. So listen carefully. In ruminants, what happens, the digestive system, the stomach is divided into four parts: the rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. So this type of stomach is called compound, because in the earlier, for example, human case, we have learned that in stomach is only one part. There are different other parts, but stomach is only one part. But in case of ruminants, stomach have four parts: the rumen, reticulum, and the omasum and abomasum. You've seen that rumen is, this part is known as rumen of stomach. This is stomach of a cow. Then reticulum is this part. Then this part is omasum and abomasum is this part. Okay, abomasum is known as the true stomach. So we'll learn detail the function of each. nutrition in ruminants. The food that is swallowed goes into the first and largest chamber, rumen. So what happens, whenever a cow will eat any grass, first it will go to the there is rumen part of stomach. Okay, here it is partially digested and is called card. In rumen the food is not completely digested. It is just, for example, a part of it will be digested, and now it is known as card, cud card. Okay, the bacteria present in the rumen help in digestion of cellulose. Grass rich in cellulose. Okay, grass have cellulose. Okay, so the bacteria present in the rumen of cow will help in the digestion of this cellulose. This partially digested food goes to the second chamber or the reticulum, from where it is returned to mouth for thorough chewing. So cow, I have already told that cow eats food in two steps. First, they just for eating first, what they do, they just chew the grass and they send it to the rumen. From inside rumen there will be some bacteria which will help to digest the cellulose of the food, that is the grass. Then the half digested food will move to the reticulum. Okay, that is the second part. And from reticulum, the cow, when the cow is in rest or they need energy, what they will do, they will again move this food back to their mouth from the reticulum for again chewing the food. Okay, after thorough chewing and mixing with the saliva, the rechewed food is swallowed again. It now bypasses the first two chambers and enters the third and the smallest chamber called omesum. So after second time chewing, first time it is chewed done, second time chewing, what will happen, the food is more fine now, more small compounds. So now it will bypass the initial two chamber, that is the rumen and reticulum, and it will directly move to the third part, that is the omesum. Okay, now here it is broken down into smaller pieces. In omesum the food is again broken down into small pieces. The food enters then comes the fourth chamber, that is the obesum. From the fourth chamber, what will happen now, here a kind of gastric juice is secreted. So in human also, there is some juice, there is. So in case of these ruminants also there are some juice. For where the juice is secreted, in the abomesum, there is a fourth part, here some juice is secreted. It contains enzyme and hydrochloric acid. This juice contains some enzyme and acid, HCl acid. Okay, the process of digestion completes here. So the digestion is completed in this last part, that is the abomesum of stomach. The digested food now passes into the small intestine. From here what will happen, the food will now pass into the small intestine, and rest is almost similar. In case of human also, from small intestine there are small finger like portion known as villi. From villi the food is absorbed. In the last class we have learned. Similarly here also, from the small intestine what will happen, here the absorption of food takes place as similar as human. The undigested food will move to the large intestine, similar to the human, passes to the large intestine, and it is removed from the body, similar to the humans. Okay, up to this one, after stomach the rest is similar to the human. Some animals like horse and rabbits have a large sac-like structure between esophagus and the small intestine. It is also called cecum. Cellulose is digested in the cecum by the action of certain bacteria. Many animals, including humans, cannot digest cellulose. So what they are saying that in herbivores there are some special organs known as cecum which help in the digestion of cellulose because they have some bacteria. But in case of humans, okay, we don't have this cecum, and so these bacteria are missing in our body, so we cannot digest cellulose. This is why most of the we eat only the vegetables mainly. Okay, we do not eat grass. The domestic animals such as cows, buffalo, the herbivores eat the grass, but we human beings mostly we never eat grass. Okay, in there some cases people eat grass, there is some but leafy vegetables are there, but they are meant for eating, but specifically not the wild. For example, the normal grass you see, we never eat this because we are not capable to digest it. In this diagram you can see different part of the digestive system have been shown: large intestine, esophagus, reticulum, then omesum, abomesum, and rumen. These are the four main part of stomach, and other parts have been shown in this diagram. So up to this much your this chapter is over. In the next class we will discuss about your question answers. Okay, now you can ask your doubts. Thank you.